had ever done before her time. Hey, this story is about to get thick. It's going to last only 9 minutes. My brother, my sister, this is the African history class, and it's brought to you by the kind courtesy of Mark Bansi, that indigenous ancient African perfumery. Oh my God, born right here in Ghana. Today we're talking about Mary Jane Seacole. Mary Jane Seacole. Mary is spelled M-A-R-Y. Jane is J-A-N-E. Seacole is S-E-A-C-O-L-E. Mary Jane Seacole. Her name is Grant. Name means the original name you were born with before you took your husband's name. Her name, and name is spelled N-E-E, and the first E comes with an accent aigu. My brother, my sister, this is the class. And this is a photograph, a beautiful photograph here. And when you look at the face, you know that this is a West African woman. In fact, born to us through Jamaica. I can't wait to tell this story. Today we're talking about Mary Jane Seacole. Now, Mary Jane Seacole was born on the 23rd day of November in 1805. 1805. Kwame Nkrumah was negative 104 years young. In fact, in other words, 104 years before Kwame Nkrumah was born, this woman was born. And she was born in faraway Jamaica. My brother, my sister, she was born in Kingston, in the colony of Jamaica. And Kingston is today the capital of Jamaica. My brother, my sister, now she was born into the community of free black people in Jamaica. In other words, she was never born a slave. And her father was from Scotland. He was a lieutenant in the British Army. Her mother was a Jamaican woman who had come all the way from West Africa. My brother, my sister, I want to presume that she came all the way from Ghana. A lot of Jamaicans are actually Ghanaians. My brother, my sister, we all remember the story of Akompong. We remember the story of Queen Nanny. We remember the stories of Efia and the rest of them who came all the way from Krumanti, and even Bob Marley. And they were stationed right there in Jamaica to spread up the story of Ghana. No two ways about that. Her mother was a Jamaican woman, and she was nicknamed Mrs. Grant because she was the wife of a white Scottish man. She was also called the doctress. You know, a doctor is a doctor. And in those days, all doctors were males. And because she was a woman, they called her the doctress. And I'm talking about Mrs. Grant, the mother of our heroine today. And she healed only with herbs. No injections, only herbs, 100% herbs. Men would come to her who needed erections, stronger erections, and she gave them the Jamaican root wine. She also gave them roots which they would boil and drink and stand very tall and strong. Gagani gaga osro do do. The doctress. Hey. In no time, men started moving from one community to the other, talking about the prowess, the efficacious nature of the wonderful herbs she gave them, which gave them erections. In no time, more children were born in the area, all because of the power of the herbs she gave men. Oh my God. Now today those herbs are known as the original Jamaican root wine herbs. My brother, my sister. Now when you talk about the root wine, a lot of people would direct it to Jamaica. In fact, this was the woman who brought it all the way from West Africa, took it all the way to Jamaica. Oh my God. Through a family tradition, she was able to heal a lot of people for free. Mrs. Grant. She was known as the doctress. Any kind of disease she was able to heal. All the way from whatever disease you could think about. People came to her for healing. And at a very young age, our little heroine Mary Jane Seacole learned from her mother. Her mother took her into the bush and showed her so many different herbs, their names, and how to even harvest them. Some of them you don't harvest them until it's midnight. Some of them you would only harvest them when it was a rainy day and the rain was falling. And some of them you will never be able to harvest until you slaughtered an animal for sacrifice. She knew all these things and she abided by all this. My brother, my sister, in no time she was also referred to as the little doctress. Where her mother could not go because of old age, she would go into those areas administering herbs. And there was no time that any person said her herbs never worked. Mary Jane Seacole. Yes. My brother, my sister. Mrs. Grant wanted to go to school. In fact, she wanted to go to school and be able to study more. At the age of just a little above teenage, she already wanted to go to school and she already wanted to be known as somebody who was studious. But she didn't have the opportunity. All she did was to get married to Mr. Grant, a Scottish man, and then be able to continue with the family tradition of administering herbs as medicine. My brother, my sister, she continued to do that, healing people from different walks of life. In fact, all walks of life. And her daughter learned from that. Now they moved to England. And when they arrived in England, my brother, my sister, that was where our heroine started her medicine. Now, in the 18th century, Jamaican doctresses mastered folk medicine, including the use of hygiene and herbs, and they use this to treat so many different kinds of injuries, and also to make women, stand stronger in childbirth and even in pregnancy. Oh, they mastered all this in Jamaica and beyond, which they had learned from West Africa. They were able to use these herbs to take care of cholera and even yellow fever. Oh my God. Our heroine found herself in England, and while she was in England, she started to practice some of this medicinal prowesses that she got from her mother. Oh gosh. My brother, my sister, in the Caribbean. Remember, our heroine was born in 1805 by the age of 20. Oh my God. She was already doing her best and she stayed in the Caribbean. Yes, she stayed in the Caribbean for so long until somewhere in 1851. In other words, she was in the Caribbean for close to 50 years. She was there. She worked very hard. From England, she returned to the Caribbean over and over and treated even people in the Caribbean. But today we are going to concentrate on the Crimean War. What do we mean by the Crimean War? Yes, she traveled to England. She also traveled to Jamaica, back to Jamaica, and also went to Central America, my brother, my sister, including Haiti and those other countries, my brother, my sister, she went to. She went to Grenada. Oh, she went to so many different countries treating people using herbs. But today we are concentrating on the Crimean War. Now, the Crimean War was fought between 1853 and 1856. 2.5 years of war. The Crimean War, my brother, my sister, lasted from October 1853 until April Fool's Day, the first day of April in 1856. And it was fought between the Russian Empire and an alliance of the United Kingdom, France, and the Kingdom of Sardinia, and the Ottoman Empire. Now, the majority of the conflict took place on the Crimean Peninsula in the Black Sea and Turkey. Our heroine was there. Anywhere she had, there was a kind of confusion. She knew people were going to be dying. She went there with the herbs to take care of people for free. Hear me now. Many thousands of troops from the countries involved were drafted to the area. and disease broke out. Almost immediately, hundreds perished, mostly from cholera. Hundreds more would be waiting to be shipped out for treatment. There was overcrowding in the hospitals. Oh my God. In Britain, there was a letter that was published in the Times on the 14th of October. And it was a very pathetic letter talking about the need for aid in the war known as the Crimean War, and it's spelled Crimean, Crimean War. Does that name ring a bell? Crimea. Do we all remember Crimea? Crimea was that small island that actually was part of Russia, and then it broke away from Russia and it became part of Ukraine, and Russia went back to annex it. In fact, in this Ukrainian-Russian war, Crimea has become an important commodity. Hear me now. Our heroine for today, Mary Jane Seacole, traveled from Navy Bay in Panama to England, initially to deal with the investments in gold mining businesses she and her family had gotten into. She then attempted to join the second contingent of nurses to Crimea. She applied to the War Office and other government offices, but arrangements for departure were already underway. In her memoir, she wrote that she sought ample testimony of their experience in nursing. Yes, ample testimony of her experience and their experiences in nursing. But the only example officially cited was that of a former medical officer of the West Grenada Gold Mining Company, and not her. She worked so hard. When she arrived, she went immediately into taking care of these people with herbs. 100% herbs. And those who were coming to her were healed faster than those who were taking the injections and the tablets. So many people wanted to go to her, especially those with broken limbs and cholera and even yellow fever. She treated them so quickly. My brother, my sister, she also applied to the Crimean Fund, a fund raised by public subscription to support the wounded in Crimea. And she gave all that she got to the people. But most of the time she was refused any fund, but she went ahead to raise her own funds to take care of the sick and the suffering. She built a hotel, and it was known as the British Hotel. Yes, she built the hotel known as the British Hotel. Now, what was the British Hotel about? Now, the British Hotel was this hotel that was only taking care of the sick and the suffering. She herself described it as a table of mess. It was a table that took care of everybody's mess. It was called a hotel because anybody who came into that hotel was not ready for war. It was somebody who was sick, and therefore soldiers were not allowed in there to come and attack anybody. It was known as the British Hotel. My brother, my sister, this was the woman who single-handedly took over the war by taking care of the sick and the suffering. And while she was taking care of the sick and the suffering, interestingly, she was also talking to them about black medicine, talking to them about Africa that she was never able to go to. She also talked to them about her mother and about Jamaica. No wonder in 1991, the Jamaican government gave her a very, very important posthumous award. It took England several years, in fact, 12 years later, in 2003, to award her, oh my God, and call her a national heroine. Today we remember that great black woman. The Jamaican government awarded her, even though posthumously, with the Jamaican Order of Merit in 1991, as you were told. And it took the British people, oh my God, have mercy, till 2003 to give her the Black Heritage Award. In 2004, she was voted the greatest Black Britain in a survey conducted, my brother, my sister, and she was awarded. Today, we remember the Black Florence Nightingale, Mary Jane Seacole. She died on the 14th of May in 1981 at the age of 75. My brother, my sister, today we remember this beautiful Black woman, the woman who put aside everything, the woman who decided to think about others rather than about herself. Today we remember this great Black woman, a woman whose ancestors came all the way from West Africa. And she found herself in Jamaica. Today we remember you, oh mommy. Today we remember you, mommy. Oniyaminko wate. Oniyaminko double for die ni amane uno. Oniyaminko. Mary Jane Seacole has been recognized around the world as this wonderful people. Yes, this wonderful person, this great Black woman. Oh, today we remember you. There was a BBC series in 2021, just 2 years ago. And Mary Jane Seacole was portrayed by the actress Sarah Powell in the BBC science fiction drama called Doctor Who, titled War of the Sontarans. Mary Jane Seacole is the subject of Blakk Rasta. Mary Seacole, my brother, my sister, will be remembered till the end of time. She selflessly took care of people herself with no funding. There is a statue of Mary Seacole at St. Thomas Hospital in London, my brother, my sister, commemorating this great Black woman. And there's a hospital ward named after Mary Seacole in Whittington Hospital in North London. Today we remember you. She had a plaque commemorating her at 14 Soho Square in London. My brother, my sister, we remember this great Black woman, this wonderful Black woman today. My brother, my sister, she died at the age of 75. And when she died, my brother, my sister, many soldiers who had gone through her hospital, those, my brother, my sister, who had benefited, and even those who did not, recognized her and honored her. She died in Paddington, in London, in the United Kingdom, where she was buried. Today we remember you. We remember you, mommy. Uninyaminko, mommy. Uninyaminko. In the burden of knowledge, I ask you, now that you know what to do, be an anio lay mini obafe zunda kagane mezaka yine ye ampa bango bokaya nan fifi ya nyanu kai na woba na ehu ebe den lele anjima singa be kunne lele anjima singa beri. How will the life of Mary Jane Seacole impact your own life in present days? In contemporary times, this is the statue of Mary Jane Seacole as it stands today. My brother, my sister, it's been the African History Class.